Hey everybody, it's Chanda Cooper from the Richland Soil and Water Conservation District, and I'm here to talk to you about another Green Step school project you can do at home or at school to improve soil health. This project is called Vermicomposting. That means using earthworms to turn food scraps into a rich soil amendment. This is my office vermicomposting bin. It's made from a plastic tub with some holes drilled into the sides and the lid for ventilation, and also a few holes in the bottom for drainage. Let's open it up and see what is inside. Oh, it's bedding. So I use shredded newspaper as bedding. The bedding needs to be damp like a wrung out sponge. The earthworms will actually eat the bedding, and they also eat food scraps that I feed them. They love melon rinds and banana peels and apple cores. They'll eat salad greens. They're not so crazy about broccoli, but then what do you expect, right? And here are the worms. The worms that are best for small bin vermicomposting like this is the red wiggler. This is what they look like up close. So they don't get very large. They are red in color and they're wiggly like a worm. These are not native worms, and so if you want to start a vermicomposting bin for your home or classroom, you'll need to obtain some red wigglers for your bin. You can either get a starter set of worms from someone who has them, or you can order worms from several online vendors. These are the things you'll need to start your own vermicompost bin. You can use a plastic tub like the one my office bin is in, or you can upcycle a polystyrene cooler such as this to make your own compost bin. I recommend a label. You'll need shredded newspaper to use as worm bedding. You'll need water, a little bit of healthy garden soil. I've just scooped this out of one of the garden beds outside. And you'll need something to feed your worms. I have some wilted lettuce. For starters, shred your newspaper. The thinner the strips, the better. Then moisten it. I've got my watering can handy. You want your bedding wet, but not too wet, so wring out any excess moisture, like so. Put the bedding into your worm bin and fluff it out. Make sure there's plenty of airspace in the bin. And then you're going to need to add a cup of soil. This is because earthworms don't have teeth, and they actually use the grit in the soil to help grind up their food. So it aids in worm digestion. All right, then you are ready for earthworms. So I am adding some red wiggler earthworms to the bin, and I'll cover them up with some of the damp bedding. Then they're ready for some food. When you feed your worm bin, you don't want to dump and run. Don't leave food exposed on top of the bin because it can start to decompose and attract fruit flies and create odors. Instead, pull back a corner of your worm bedding, tuck the food underneath, and then cover it up with the bedding. That will prevent your worm bin from attracting any unsavory creatures or from smelling badly. And that's it. Your worm bin is now ready to take care of your food scraps. If you're using composting as a school Green Steps project, you'll need to have both an outdoor compost bin and at least one indoor vermicomposting bin, so students are exposed to both types of composting. For more information, visit the website at www.greenstepschools.com.